Hi everyone, this is Josh Kulp. We are learning Daf Ayin Aleph of Masechet Gittin. And I wanted to talk a little bit about a statement by Rabbi Yitzchak towards the end of this page, where Rabbi Yitzchak says, Davar Torah shota mit gareshet. According to the Torah's rules, a man may divorce his mentally incapacitated wife. A shota, we're not sure exactly what that is, but it is a woman who is not mentally capable anymore. Maybe she's suffering insanity. She's lost her mental faculties. And according to the Torah, she can be divorced. According to Rabbi Yitzchak, the Torah allows her to be divorced. Just like a woman whose mental faculties are fine can be divorced against her will. In other words, we don't need to ascertain the will of a wife to be divorced, because according to the Talmudic law, a woman can be divorced against her will. Umatam amru eina mitgareshet. Why did we say she cannot be divorced? Shelo yinagu ba minhag hefker, so that people don't treat her licentiously. A woman who has severe mental problems and is divorced now will be in a very precarious position with no one in her society to protect her. I'm talking about back then, thousands of years ago, and she's better off staying with her husband, who can offer her all sorts of protection. That's the Talmudic law. The question really comes up later on in halacha, in light of Takanat Rabbeinu Gershom, the enactments made by Rabbeinu Gershom in the 10th, 11th century, that two problems. One is men cannot divorce their wives ever against their will, and the other is that men cannot marry more than one wife. And the question is, can, in this case, the husband is married to a woman, let's say a worst case scenario, where she's in a coma that might last for scores of years, dozens of years, perhaps. On the one hand, he can't divorce her because he has to protect her. On the other hand, he may want to marry again for, I think, totally legitimate reasons, for companionship, for love, for all the reasons people get married. The question is he allowed to, even in light of Takanat Rabbeinu Gershom? So the Ramah, Reb Moshe Isserles, in the Shulchan Aruch, in a couple of different places, relates to this issue. So he says two things. First of all, this woman, if he tries to divorce her, there are those who say the divorce is not valid. So on the one hand, you have this tendency to up the protection offered to the woman, even b'diavad, even ex post facto. Even though the Torah says that this divorce should be valid, the rabbis say that the divorce is invalid, and he absolutely cannot divorce her. On the other hand, the tradition there referred to by the Ramah becomes more lenient with regard to Takanat Rabbeinu Gershom, and allows the man to marry another woman, because otherwise he's stuck really essentially without a wife as well. So we see certain amount of flexibility in this law that I think probably allows for the best scenario for both the woman and for the husband. I'm not making that statement about the rules of marriage in general. There are many inequalities that are, for instance, I'll give you an example over here. If a woman's husband has gone insane and cannot divorce her, meaning, let's say he's in a coma. There's nothing. She is an aguna. There's really no way in traditional halacha to get out of that problem. Certainly, she can't just marry another man for companionship all that easily. She would need to either find a way to dissolve the marriage, or to annul the marriage, or to, basically wait. It's a very problematic situation. So I'm not trying to claim that the law is equal. What I'm trying to claim is that the Ramah and the Ashkenazi tradition trying to understand that even though a husband is not allowed to marry more than one wife, according to Takanat Rabbeinu Gershom, in this case where his first wife is fully incapacitated, and let's assume she's really not going to recover, that he can marry another wife so that he's not left alone.